welcome back to B is for Build. Thanks for joining us on another episode. In today's episode, our R35 donor car, well, if you didn't remember, we're in the process of putting an R34 body on an R35 GT-R. We're pretty close actually to getting the body on, but then we found out that our rear subframe and transaxle was just not in the right spot. Today's episode, we're gonna get it in the right spot, and then we're gonna go test fit the R34 body on top of the R35 for the first time. Stay tuned. Before we get down to work, I want to take a second out to thank our sponsor. Today's episode is sponsored by ShipStation. When my merch sales started taking off, we need to ship out tons of orders very, very quickly. You need to be able to print postage, notify people of tracking, all that good stuff, and ShipStation is the best way to do that. ShipStation just makes it easy. It's easier to import, it's easier to manage, and then you can ship out all those orders fast for a lot less money. And it works no matter where you're selling. You can import from any sales channel. So if you're selling on Amazon or eBay or your website or all of the above, you can simply import them all into one nice user interface, nice dashboard that you can access from anywhere. You can even access it on your cell phone. And with ShipStation, you can ship using any carrier and you're gonna get their heavily discounted rates, which is a really big bonus. And you can automate just about any shipping task. And that's why ShipStation is the #1 choice for online sellers. They've got over 100,000 people that have chosen to use ShipStation. And here's the biggest selling point for me. I've already mentioned this, but this is huge. When you're running your own business, when you're shipping stuff out a lot, you wanna get the best rates possible. And ShipStation allows you to get those amazing discounts with all the major carriers. So you got like USPS, UPS, FedEx, a bunch of them. And with ShipStation, small businesses now get access to the really good rates for all of those carriers that I talked about that are normally reserved for like Fortune 500 companies or really big companies that do mass shipping. Now you get it because the whole ShipStation family all kind of works together to get those really, really great rates, and it's all with no contracts or commitments. So ship more in less time. Just go to shipstation.com/BisForBuild and you can get a 60-day free trial. That's 2 months free of no hassle, stress-free shipping. Again, that's shipstation.com/BisForBuild. So let's get to shipping, guys. Huge thanks to ShipStation for sponsoring this episode. Guys, it's truly a great product. It will save you a ton of time and save you a lot of money. The link is in the top of the description. Now let's get down to work. Right, getting down to work. So we're hoping that this guy was bent and pushing the rear subframe into a bad area. So we're gonna cut this rear tray out. That was something we were gonna do anyways the whole time because it's all damaged and we wanna replace it, and cut some of that rear frame rail out, which will cut this rear mounting point out, and then we will test fit our subframe and transaxle once again and see if it's straight. Fingers crossed, we need this to work. All right, guys, it's the next day and this looks so much better, so much more cleaned up. Oscar did a great job cutting through all this stuff and kind of getting all that bad metal out of the way. Once we got all that bad metal off, we retest fit the subframe on there and found out that the wheels are still misaligned, like very, very badly. So I decided that what we needed to do was take the subframe off of the car, do measurements on the car's frame and on the subframe, and figure out if it's the subframe and the car are bent up, or if it's just the car, or if it's just the subframe. So we've spent the last few hours measuring different things side to side, finding relative points. So say like from this bolt up here all the way down to like this bolt right here on both sides, anything that we can do on both sides to see, hey, is this side, you know, smushed in more than that side or anything like that. There's no noticeable damage that's bringing this side forward, so why is the wheel misaligned in the forward? So that's actually really good news. That means that what's left of this chunk right here is straight. Okay, that's great news. What it does point to is that our subframe is not straight. Slightly bad news, not the end of the world. This is a replaceable part. This is actually a part that I had to replace on the last GT-R that I rebuilt. So we went to measuring on the subframe and we did a million different measurements and calculations and things like that. And we did find out that indeed this whole section here is kicked over by 2 extra inches. So if you measure from the center line over, that is bent that way 2 inches more than that way. Oh no, wait, sorry, I got that wrong. It's like 1.25 inches off, and then that makes the wheel be 2 inches off. So our subframe is toast. We felt around on there. We did find a few little you know, bent up areas, some areas that had some creasing in it. And obviously the back of the subframe got hit bad enough that that was toast too. So we need a new subframe. So usually this is something that we would just order on eBay and wait for it to arrive, but freight is taking forever these days and time is of the essence. We have a ton of stuff to get done before SEMA. So I figured we should look more locally and see if we could find anything like on the West Coast. And we got lucky. We found something in Sacramento, California. It's just about 500 or so miles away. I figured now is a great time for a B is for Build road trip. So we're gonna go ahead and start packing things up and hit the road. All right, Kyle and I have been on the road for a couple hours. It's just me and Kyle on this trip. Unfortunately, Oscar had a little bit of family stuff that he's got to take care of, so he's gonna stay back at the shop, keep working on the R35 while we go rescue some new parts. We're about 2 hours in on the trip, and unfortunately the truck started acting up a little bit. Like 10 minutes ago, we pulled over at a gas station, didn't find anything that was very obviously wrong, so fingers crossed. This might turn into a fixing a different car episode, we'll see. Found this absolutely insane jet boat at the gas station. Whatever you guys do not give Cletus this guy's phone number. Ow, my back is super tender after all that driving. So I haven't done any long road trips with after the biopsy hole in my back. I have no idea how this is gonna feel tomorrow, but it's Anyways, we made our first pit stop at In-N-Out. We're in Medford. We were gonna get into California and try and go to Hooters, but did you guys know that like all the Hooters are closing for some reason? This is something that needs to be addressed. So this is an economic stimulus problem, I think. Boo bailout. Anyways, we'll settle for In-N-Out. It's definitely better food unless you're in the mood for twice baked wings. I just really like the double breaded wings. Anyways, doesn't really matter. So we're close to the California border right now, so we'll just go ahead and bomb it into the night, and if we can find a place that sells fun liquor, we shall do the coveted weird hotel room liquor review. Fingers crossed we can find something. All right, that was a good meal. Wonder how Oscar's doing. Okay, that's too much. All right, guys. Well, we made it to our cheap yet safe and secure hotel room. This is a hotel that we've stayed at many times, and we've never found bed bugs, so we feel safe enough with this decision. And we got our weird hotel liquor. So we found all this at that liquor store, and then I found that Bang makes seltzers. So I had no other choice. I'm not looking forward to drinking any of this, but except maybe
I'd say that
the White Russian seems like, yeah, that might be a tasty treat. Let's start with the terrible, I think. Tequila cinnamon orange shots.
Yeah, my vote for terrible goes to peanut butter whiskey.
Okay, I did not see that. Tequila, cinnamon, orange. The second I saw this, I knew it was going to be terrible. I had to get it. So if those of you that haven't seen Weird Hotel Room liquor review, we're not going to be drinking the whole thing of all of these things. We're just going to be tasting it because we're not here to party. We're here to make quality content.
That's a good start. Never smell it. That was a bad idea.
Getting started on a good note here. Whoa.
Went down easier than it smelled.
It tastes exactly like it reads. It's tequila, cinnamon, and orange. Like there's no like wonderful mixture there. It's not like a sweet and savory or anything. Ugh. What's next? Strawberry colada vodka. It's not nearly as bad. Is it time for peanut butter whiskey?
Yeah, I think we just get that one out of the way.
Get it out of the way? Alright, I'm not gonna smell this one. Ew, oh, it's like syrup.
Oh, I regret this. I'm gonna smell it too because I'm curious. Oh, that's very peanut buttery.
It almost smells like butterscotch.
Yeah, I'd say it's closer to that.
49% alcohol and all the rest percent sugar for sure.
Oh.
Not that bad. Not that
I
bad.
don't like that.
You don't like it?
No.
It's not terrible. Little inside secret. This is what I take onto airplanes with me when I really need to catch well, if I don't want to remember the flight.
I think what threw me off on that one was like how syrupy it was.
Yeah, that was syrup. You could put that on pancakes if you were an alcoholic. Should we wash it down with a bang?
Yeah.
Which color do you want? Bright pink, kind of pink, purple, or yellow?
Kind of pink.
Cheers. This cannot help with cancer.
Cheers. Well, it's got sodium, magnesium, potassium.
All the thing a good growing body needs. Honestly, not that bad. Tastes like fake sugar, like all Bang stuff does.
Yeah.
Yes. Old Smoky Moonshine. Hunch Punch Lightning. This was $65 worth of liquor that we're not enjoying.
Hunch Punch.
Hunch Punch.
Still smell butterscotch.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. Not bad. This is something that we don't get in Oregon. This is a cocktail in a can by 10 Barrel, and it's a Moscow Mule. Vodka and Moscow Mule is normally ginger beer, and a little bit of a mint or lime or both. Lime. Kyle used to work at a bar. I used to basically live at one.
How much you've spent, you probably could have bought a bar.
I definitely could have, yeah. Cheap one, but yeah. Not bad. Put it in a nice fancy glass. Good to go. All right, last but not least, the one thing I was looking forward to, the White Russian. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. That's the chilled out drink you need after a long drive. I think we figured it out. All right, to sum up our official Weird Alcohol Hotel Room review, we have worst to best with the tequila, cinnamon orange, you know, who would have thought, all the way over to the White Russian. Now you know, most of these you just wouldn't buy. Like, there you go. Kyle just realized that means we're not gonna get sponsored by Bang. I also don't think we have the right cup size for that job.
I don't think I'm the heart for it.
Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. All right, guys, it's late. It's time for us to go to bed. Wake up very early tomorrow, 7 a.m., and head to the auto parts store and hope they still have our parts. I put them on hold for yesterday, but tomorrow's 2 days later. Got an early morning start. Raptor's still there. Let's hit the road. We're in Redding right now. We got to get through Sacramento into Rancho Cordova to Recyclers Row. Alright guys, we finally made it. We're at what is this place called? AH Parts and Dismantlers. I don't know these guys at all. Now here's the deal. We're not sure if they still have the part. They probably do. It's not a lot of people repairing GT-Rs like we are. The harder problem is going to be that their listing price is $300 to $400 more than it is online. So I gotta try and haggle them down, but I have absolutely no working room, because if they say no, I mean, we already wasted $500 in gas to get here. Maybe not 500, that's an overstatement, probably like 300. So yeah, we have to just take any price that we get, but I'm gonna try and get it down a little bit. We'll see how this goes. Big success. These guys are awesome. Shout out to them. To be honest, I didn't do very good at haggling my way down, but then one of the guys that probably owns this place recognized us from YouTube and he helped us out. So we have a subframe, it's in the truck. Let's get lunch. We ended up getting lunch in Weed. So we're back in Weed again, on our way home this time. It's a very high altitude city, a little ironic. So anyways, it's just a pretty straightforward shot all the way home. Probably be like, it's like 3:30 right now. It'll probably take us till midnight before we get home. So let's see how Oscar's doing actually. Hi guys, guys, it's the next morning. We got in last night about 10 o'clock, not too bad. We are back at the shop and we've got our subframe. Traveled a long way to get this guy, but it was actually a really fun road trip and it was nice to just get out and see a little bit of the country again. So subframe is here. This thing's ready to rock. Oscar's made great progress on the R34 body fitting over the R35. So we believe we're down to one of the last cuts that need to be made. We need to we need more room right here. So this is just kind of an end cap that you can see was used to structurally weld a bunch of things together and tie stuff together. The game plan for this is we're going to cut it a little bit more shallow and then we'll weld that onto our new body right there and it'll do the same type of job. So Oscar's going to go ahead and cut these and then we're going to set the body down once more, and he says we're getting pretty close, so we might actually get it in the right spot this time. I'm really excited to see how this goes. Hard to see with all the shadows out here and stuff, but we are getting the body on here. You can see it's very high. You can tell how high it is by that look, but don't worry about that. That's the fine-tuning process of us kind of shimmying this thing down. The really good news that we're seeing here is that the window where the old windshield is and the new windshield is, these are actually lining up really well. We believe this thing needs to come forward maybe an inch and a half, probably at most 2 inches. Now it's very hard for us to know. We tried by just mocking up a fender over here, but it's very hard for us to find out how far it needs to go forward without having our rear wheel in here so we can align the center of our axle going straight up to the center of that rear quarter panel. So that's the next step. We need to start jumping into our, I just want to show you guys, like, this is super cool back here. This is all just lining up very, very well, and we're going to be able to integrate everything in really, really well. So we're really hyped. This is actually looking like it's going to come together a lot better than the last body swap project we did. Anyways, we need to figure out the center line or the R35 GT-R so we know how far forward or backwards to put the body. So to do that, we got to get this new subframe into the car. So we're going to go ahead and bring this new subframe into the shop, put all the suspension components on it so we have wheels on it, and we'll roll it back out here and we'll get it attached to our frame of our R35 GT-R and hope it's straight. Subframe is installed. This is really, really great news, guys. It fits up to the old pin locations, meaning that the chassis of this body wasn't actually bent up. So we were able to fit the subframe on there, and then we did all of our measurements that we did before to figure out that we were off, and now we're back on. So we have a square car once again. It's all straight. There's no lasting body damage or frame damage anymore. There's obviously some things that we need to tube frame extend. So you can see we need to come from here out to back here and extend back to here. Now that's something that we can do. It's something we've done before, and that's relatively easy compared to the problem that we were facing earlier. So this is really, really good news that our time and our effort to pick this subframe up definitely paid off and straightened up our car again. So now this tells us exactly where these rear wheels are. We are dead on with our measurement of how wide an R34 GT-R is supposed to be. Kyle and I double checked, and we are exactly 104 and what was it? 5/8 wide. So now we're gonna go ahead and lower the R34 body onto here once again and start getting that wheel well aligned with the wheel. Now keep in mind the wheels are gonna be pushed out a little extra because the R35 is wider, and these wheels are gonna look monstrous onto here because you can't run a 20-inch wheel on an R34 GT-R. It just don't look right. So expect to see that. Well guys, we have done it again. Oscar did an amazing job fitting this R34 body onto the R35. So we now have our R34, R35 GT-R body swap. It's just a matter of kind of rebuilding the car based on the structure that we've taken off now. But we know it is gonna work. You can see right here, this is where the old windshield went, this is where the new windshield's gonna go. So we gotta take some of this down and then connect this piece of metal to this piece of metal to keep the engine bay outside of the interior of the car. But overall, it'll look great. It's gonna work just fine. Oscar did a really cool thing when we did this one with really taking off the minimal amount of stuff. So we're gonna have a pretty clean weld. This is the inside R35, this is R34. We've got a real clean connection point everywhere around this car. So it's gonna be a lot easier to connect to the body to the R35 GT-R chassis than the last time when we did this with a Mustang. But I'm really excited. We've got this rear, you can imagine if the rear arch was all the way there, it's dead center on there, and it looks really good. Obviously we need to get the smaller wheels on there, and that's why we're partnered with Koenig. We're gonna run a brand new wheel that they're creating on this car with a little bit lower offset. So this is why we're doing wide body, because this is obviously wider than the GT-R. So wide body will stick out, get close to it. We're gonna run a smaller offset wheel. Wide body will come out, and we're either gonna run an 18 or a 19-inch wheel. But man, this looks so cool. So our back shelf is gonna look pretty much OEM once we tie all this stuff together. We have a huge amount of trunk space right now, so all this is going to get integrated back into our other frame rails, and obviously, like we talked about before, we've got to build those frame rails out. So huge win though. We shortened the R35 GT-R by 4 and something inches, and we put an R34 GT-R body on it. Hell yeah. Man, what a milestone, and what a week it's been. I mean, we went to California and back, fixed the whole alignment issue with the car being all crazy bent, and then got the R34 body on here. Now, it's not all buttoned up. There's a lot of work left to do, but this means it's gonna work, guys. So there's no going backwards now, and there should be no lawsuits that stop us at this one. So thank you guys so much for watching the channel. We appreciate having you guys all. Make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss any of the episodes of us finishing this build off, and we've got some news in the next episode about SEMA, a bunch of crazy stuff going on with that. But the Jump-A-Con is now going to SEMA at the Holly booth, which is gonna be really cool. So you guys will be able to see the Jump-A-Con on display at SEMA at the Holly booth. And there's gonna be more news in the next episode. So make sure you tune in then. Thank you guys all so much. We appreciate the hell out of you. See you on the next one. Peace!